When you think about other folks, I overlook a lot of times the fact that we all come from different worlds and have different levels of discipline and grit and all that. But when you think other folks that we know that maybe are struggling with something, whether it's something physical or something emotional or whatever it is, I know just by saying stuff, those are just words, right?
Yeah.
And you can't be as impactful. But what do you think's a good way to encourage folks that maybe are struggling and haven't asked or have asked, but they just don't know how to fix it?
Within my own family, offer to work out with them, offer to change your diet with them, hold each other accountable, make it something you're doing together rather than something that's not about them. Every one of us has something to work on, right? I believe in having a mirror talk. Look yourself in the mirror, figure out what you like, what you don't like, and then what's your plan on fixing what you don't like.
Yeah.
But you can take that and you can extrapolate that out to what you know someone else is going through and say, hey, I'll go through this with you. So you're not alone. You're not going to struggle with this. You've got someone as backup. I think people need encouragement because there's too many and too easy ways to cheat on it, and especially when it comes to food. If being healthy by what you choose to eat is your problem, you only have to drive down the road 5 minutes and there's really horrible choices.
Yeah.
If you make an agreement with that person, hey, look, I'll go low carb with you. Here's what I'm going to do. What are you going to do? And then you do it together. I've worked out with family members before. I just said, hey, look, this is the program I'm going to do. I'd like you to join me and let's do it together. And I think people get encouraged by having someone there to share it.
Interesting. You have siblings. You told me that.
I do. One older, two younger.
Yeah. So that's bred into you, right? It's a team sport, right?
Yeah, we smacked each other around as kids, but I swear if anybody said anything against one of us, we stood as a wall.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. So it's something that was inbred, especially within the family, that we go to war together.
Interesting. I had a sister. I was really an only child in the sense that I was the boy and she was the girl.
Yeah.
So we were just two different
Totally different
worlds.
dynamic.
And
Yeah.
so only child have a different perspective in general, I think. They have to be more self-reliant.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious for those who may struggle with something, if they have siblings, maybe make it a team sport.
Yeah.
And if they're an only child in one way or another, figure it out on your own.
No matter what, don't struggle alone.
Yeah.
Find somebody. Everyone's got a best friend. Share it. And I think my parents had amazing sayings. And as I'm getting older, I find myself parroting those sayings. One of my mom's was, a problem shared is a problem halved.
Nice. Halved. That's halved, right?
Yeah. Every once in a while, it still sneaks out. Every once in a while.
I did for translation.
Yeah.
There.
And because she was English.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, no. So I do believe in, if you have something that's really deeply bothering you, get it out. Find a person you can trust. And I don't care whether it's a family member, friend, priest, whatever. Get it out there. And I think that begins that process of, I think maybe even talking about it makes it real. Now you can understand and process and put a plan in place to deal with it. If you internalize and stuff everything down, you're never going to deal with anything.
Yeah. I got to imagine there's also situations where people are just so overwhelmed, they just have no idea how to solve it.
Yeah.
It's outside of their world. And again, I'm not as empathetic on this because my whole career has been having to figure stuff out myself.
Yeah.
And graduate work was doing research that was novel by definition. It's something that I can't communicate to folks. It's just they figure it out themselves. But
I was the same way because obviously losing my dad at a young age, literally it was, okay, you're out the door. You have no house. You have nothing. I gave up my car, my job for 6 months to take care of my dad. And it was at that point, it was like, okay, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I learned to be more empathetic. And I'm sure my job had a lot to do with that.
Yeah. No, that's good. That you just made you who you are. It's good you came part of the network of friends, which is fairly tight if you think about it. In California, that's people tend to go their own ways, and it's been a fairly.
Besides the very first night I met you guys, were you all stiff me with the bell?
That's a good story. You're right. That was great. Actually, if you study that night, that was what, Papagayo?
Yeah.
So you're that guy who can remember stuff. The only reason I said to you, they ain't coming back, or whatever I said, where they just scattered, Bill came your way, was because I was used to that as well. But I also hadn't eaten there because I always eat before I go to little social gatherings.
Yeah.
Just because I like to control my own environment. And so I was just used to it and observing it. But
Yeah.
here's the bill, sir.
That'll always be one of my favorite stories. Look, you guys are probably 70 super close people that have spent the last 27, 28 years
huge
together.
number of years, yeah.
And I walked into your guys' life 6 years ago, and never for 1 second did I feel unwanted, unwelcomed. Everybody was amazing to me. A great laugh. I have enjoyed every single person in this group.
Yeah, it's interesting because that has scattered a little bit and still tried to keep close. But all stem from everyone living in the neighborhood together, basically. Or going to the same school with the kids. And so the kids held them together, right?
Think about my mom's friend group. They were all, her best friends were the parents of my best friends in elementary school.
Yeah.
You guys basically went through that, and the group has held.
Yeah.
And it's just a great part. I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking. The jams, it's great.
Yeah. No, there's a little bit of the thing that will always trouble me. So people get in this mode where they just routinely have to do it. Like July 3rd, I got to do my party. At Super Bowl, Don's got to do his party. It used to be like the Lunas did Halloween. Like it was always like everyone had something that they just always do. And I think it's nice to mix it up a little bit.
Agreed.
But it's still fun to come back to the same old oldies but goodies.
Yeah, I think Christmas is now at the Mathers.
Oh, is it? Oh, man.